is Cameron, and welcome back to my channel, Which Way to Wicked, where we talk about all things love, light, and especially tarot. So guys, today we are going to be finding out how people describe you to others. So, if that sounds as fabulous to you as it does to me, then let's go ahead and take a look at your group picks today, shall we? So for group number 1, we have the Monk/Nun card coming through. For group number 2, we have the Awesome Vampire making an appearance. And last but not least, for group number 3, we have the Athlete card. So guys, I want you to go ahead and take a very big, deep breath in. And now I want you to please let it out. And now I want you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to think about how people describe you to others. Think about what they say, and even just what they think whenever they try to figure out how to describe you, right? Now, whenever you feel ready, please open your eyes, and whichever card your eyes lands on first, then that, my dear, is going to be the reading for you today. Now, if you feel called to more than one card here, then definitely feel free to check out those extra messages as well. And as always, I will have the timestamps listed down in the description box below. So, let's go ahead and get into your reading today, friends. Hello, my fabulous Group 1 folks. My name is Cameron, and I am going to be your fabulous tarot reader today. So guys, before we get into the tarot portion of this reading, let's go ahead and talk about this card, which you felt drawn to. So first of all, with the Monk/Nun card coming through, I definitely think that people describe you as someone who is very faithful and trusting and loyal, which are all great ways to be described. I would love to be described that way. I just think that people, they feel as though you are someone who has this deep wisdom, and you have this deep trust, not just in yourself, but in the world as well, and in the life that you're living. So I think that no matter what bumps along the road you go down, you have to face, I think that people always say how you are someone who will get through it so much easier than other people. It doesn't mean that you don't get tired from these bumps. It doesn't mean that for a second you don't start to doubt yourself. But at the end of the day, people say that your belief in yourself and in the fact that everything happens for a reason, that you were meant to experience these things so that you can get stronger, so that you can get closer to the amazing future that awaits you, keeps you going and keeps you stronger than so many other people. People just say how you never ever give up, even when the going gets tough, and they aspire to be like you. They are inspired by you, by your faith, by your wisdom, by your grit. You are just someone who never gives up, and people find that to be absolutely incredible. They are wowed by you and your determination. Now, they also see you as someone who, if you were to decide to be in a relationship, you would be so loyal. You would never stray, and people, that just puts people at ease so much. I think that people know whether or not they decide to just be your friend or they decide to be your lover. If they are in your inner circle, if you love and appreciate them, you will always put them first, and you will always be someone who they can count on. And I think that they find that to be very invaluable. They find that faith, that loyalty you have to be just so precious. And it is precious, group 1, because there's not a lot of people who are willing to go to bat for others like that. I mean, there's a lot of people who will say that they'll do anything for you, but when the going gets tough and you actually need someone, very few will show out for you. So it's just so much easier to say something than it is to actually go through with it. And yet you are someone who, what you say is what you do. You are honest and you honor the things that you say. So if you tell someone you will be there for them, you will be there for them 110%. And so, again, people love that about you. And I do think that when people describe you to others, they're just always saying how they want to be closer to you, how they want to get into your inner circle, because again, that loyalty is just something that is so beautiful, and so many people seek out people who are like that. And so there are so many people who are just wishing and praying that they can be closer to you, so that they can be closer to that loyalty that you offer to everyone. So yeah, that's just a very admired trait that you have that people love. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far. You could also be someone who people describe as being quite spiritual as well. You might be a bit modest too, because obviously monks and nuns, they are quite modest, right? The nuns wear like full head garb and everything. So yeah, you could be described as being someone who is quite modest and also humble as well. So you could literally be the most beautiful person in the world. You could be like Giselle Bunchkin, right? But you still act so humble and so modest, and people are taken away by that. They love how you don't, even if you are this gorgeous, gorgeous being, you don't allow it to get to your head, right? So yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far. I'm seeing all very good things. Let's go ahead and move on to the tarot side of things. Let's move on to the tarot portion of this reading. So Spirit, how do people describe my group 1 folks? How do people describe them? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles coming through. So the King of Pentacles, first of all, talks about earth energy. So you could be an earth sign, sun, moon, rising, or in Venus. So I'm talking about Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But with this coming through, this makes me think about how you are someone who is described as being very determined, and you're described as being very ambitious as well. This is a king who is all about trying to go after their goals, and they do it in such a patient way that this is someone who will always accomplish their dreams. And so, yeah, people see you as someone who you are going to be so successful. So if at this moment you are watching this and you aren't at that point in your life where you would say you've accomplished everything you've set out to accomplish, if you would describe yourself as being someone who's at the beginning of your journey, I think that people, when they look at you, when they see the way you act, when they see how hardworking you are, they just describe you as just that, as someone who is hardworking, as someone who is patient, and as someone who has the patience to one day become very successful. So yeah, when people describe you to others, that's what they say. They say how they know that one day you're going to be making that moolah. Even if you're not making it yet, you're going to make it one day. And so yeah, people definitely look at you as someone who is a future boss babe in the making. Okay, so let's see what else wants to come through. Ooh, we have the 3 of Cups. So people also describe you as someone who is very warm, and you could also be someone who is really fun to hang out with as well. You could be someone who is a really good talker. People enjoy talking to you. Now, if you're watching this and you're saying that you are a bit more on the shyer side, maybe you don't, maybe it takes a lot for you to open up to people and to actually get to this point where you're like bros with them, right? Where you're drinking with them and just having fun. Well then, I would definitely say that the people who describe you, they say that, yeah, you might be a little shy at first, but once you get to know someone, you really open up and you just become this fun, warm, vibrant human being, and you become someone who people love to talk to. So I would definitely say, if you are on the shyer side, that people describe you as someone who's worth the wait. They say that you're like an onion and how you have to be really peeled back with all your layers. But once you peel back those layers, man, you are something else. You are fun. Just like how once you peel back an onion, you chop it up, you put it in like in the avocado, a smashed avocado, you make some awesome guacamole. Everyone loves that, right? Everyone loves to hang out, gather around the guacamole and just have a good time and eat chips. And so, yeah, that's like you. Once people open you up, people love to be around you. You are the life of the party. You're so fun and you make the party, right? So yeah, that's very interesting. That's definitely something that people say. They just say to give you time if you are on the quiet side, because if they give you that time, then slowly but surely you will just bloom in front of their eyes and you will become this fun, awesome individual. Now, if you are not more shy, if you are watching this and you're very much so a social butterfly, then just know that's how people see you. They see you as fun, they see you as vibrant, they see you as just an awesome person to hang out with, and that's definitely how they would describe you, okay? So let's go ahead and move on. Alrighty, so we have the Four of Pentacles coming through. So the Four of Pentacles talks about being more, what's the word? I can't think of the right word. Just not wanting to let go of your money, right? Being kind of tight with your money. So honestly, you could be someone who people say, doesn't like to spend your money a lot. You could definitely be someone who is more of a saver. You may like to save your money for a rainy day, which people do love and admire. But I do think that sometimes it gets to a point where you hoard your money so much so that you can be ready for harder times, that it's almost like you have a hard time living in the present and having fun, right? It's almost like you would rather stay home instead of go out to grab drinks with someone and have fun with them, because you don't want to spend all that extra money on buying drinks, on maybe paying for an Uber home and all these things. You would rather save that money for a rainy day. So that is an interesting thing coming through. That's definitely something people might say about you. So there's a good and bad side to this card. The good side is that people see you as someone who's very responsible. They see you as someone who, again, wants to save for a rainy day, which is very good, honestly, because there's not a lot of people that have the capability to save their money. I'm definitely not one of those people. If I get money, I spend it like that. So yeah, people will describe you as someone who likes to save your money. But on the bad side, again, they also might describe you as someone who just doesn't, you're not willing to spend the money to go out and have fun. You it's almost like you keep yourself back from having a good time and really enjoying the life that you are living, right? It takes a lot to get you to decide to spend said money. So yeah, that's definitely something that is also coming through. But let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards. So Spirit, for my group 1 folks, how do people describe them to others? How do people describe them to others? Let's get one more card from this deck. Okay. And then let's get one card from here. So for my group 1 folks, how do people describe them to others? Let's take that one. Okay, you guys, so we have identity coming through with Angela Carter, and then we have, oh my gosh, you guys, you cannot make this up. This is amazing. So literally, what was I saying with the monk or nun card? How you have such a loyal spirit and you're so faithful, and then we literally have the faith card coming through. Look at that. It says faith right there. How neat is that? So yeah, that's just further confirmation that you just have this amazing faith in the world, in yourself, and even in others as well. You just believe in the good in everyone. And I just think that that is something that people find to be so incredible and so beautiful. We have invasive coming through, so that's interesting. I think I'm going to clarify that. Will you clarify this invasive card, Spirit? What is this talking about for invasive for my group 1 folks? How do people describe them? Invasive, we have the Sun. Okay. So I'm kind of getting the idea here. Bear with me while I explain this to y'all. We do have the sun. The sun is clarifying this card. And the sun does talk about Leo energy. So you could have Leo somewhere in your chart. Now this kind of gives me the idea that you might be someone who is a little invasive when it comes to your friends and your family members. You just always want to make sure that everyone is happy. You want to make sure that everyone is doing good, and I think that sometimes you may have the tendency to push a little bit too much. You have the tendency to be maybe even a tad bit overbearing at some points. You're almost like a mom, right? You know how whenever your kid wants to go out and have fun, they want to go out to a party, or they want to do this or do that and just have a good time. The mom wants to make sure that their child is okay because they care about them, they love them, they want them to feel safe and to be safe. And so throughout the whole time that the child goes out to have fun, the mom has to keep calling, like maybe every hour, to check in on them and say, hey, are you okay? I love you so much. And then maybe an hour later call, hey, do you need me to drive over there and come pick you up? Have you been drinking too much? Do you need help? Yada, yada, yada. So at the end of the day, I think that people describe you as someone who has so much love for the people around you. And they appreciate that love so much. They appreciate how you're willing to go above and beyond to help anyone and to be there for anyone. But they do say that sometimes you can have the tendency to be a little bit too much when it comes to that area. But that is definitely not a bad thing. I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I think that that's really sweet that you put yourself out there so much because you love your friends and your family members and you just want to make sure they're okay. I think that is so sweet. But yeah, I can see where people might get a little like, about it at some points, but still they look at you and they know that you're doing this from a place of love. And so even though they may feel a little bit they still think that's all, you know. It's and all. So that's how people describe you. And then last but not least, we have identity. And so I think this is talking about how people describe you as someone who really knows who you are. You have this strong sense of purpose, a strong sense of knowing, and you know exactly what you want for yourself, and you have that faith, that determination to go after the things that you know that you want. Okay, so yeah, again, people, they just find you to be someone who is honestly, no matter how humble you are, which you are humble, you have this amazing amount of confidence, which really sets you apart from people. But this confidence that you have, it's not seen as being egotistical. It's seen as just you being sure of who you are. You're sure of who you are. You're sure of what you want. And that really separates you from others. So yeah, you just carry yourself with a sense of purpose. And that's definitely something that people say about you when they're describing you. How you have this mission in life and you are like Tom Cruise going on that mission and you're gonna, even if it seems impossible, you're gonna make it possible and you're gonna make all your dreams come true. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big old like and to subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by the side of Tarot Tube again sometime. Okay? Love y'all. Hello group 2, my name is Cameron and I'd love to welcome you to this reading today. I'm going to be your tarot reader. So anyways, you guys, before we get into the tarot portion of this reading, let's go ahead and talk about this card that you felt drawn to today. So as you know, we have the vampire card coming through, and so first of all, just picking up on this energy of the vampire, I would definitely say that people describe you as someone who is very highly aware of people and of their intentions towards you and towards others. And I think that they describe you as someone who loves to make other people aware of people's intentions, okay? They describe you as someone who just wants to make sure that everyone is happy and that everyone is being treated fairly and that no one is being taken advantage of. And so they say how you are someone who, if you ever see someone being mistreated, or you see someone who might be in a bad situation with someone, in a bad toxic relationship, you will go out of your way to talk to them. You will go out of your way to try to help them and to make them aware of what is going on, okay? And they also describe you as someone who is very independent. You are very, very, very independent. At the end of the day, you just know how beautiful you are. You know your own worth, and they say how you are someone who will never let anyone mistreat you. You will never let anyone be rude to you. And so if you ever find your own self in a toxic relationship, you will cut ties with them just like that once you figure out how they are. Okay? So yeah, at the end of the day, people say how you know your own self-worth. You know how incredible you are, and you are so independent. So I think that they see you as someone who is willing and even happy to be on your own. You don't mind being by yourself. In fact, you enjoy your alone time, because you know that no one will ever be able to love you as much as you can love yourself, right? And you know that one day you will be able to meet someone that will love you so much. And so in the meantime, you're just gonna keep living on yourself, right? You're gonna keep living on yourself, and even if it takes years upon years upon years to meet someone who will give you the type of love that you deserve, you will still be happy because you love yourself. So that is so beautiful to see. So people just say how confident you are all the time. They describe you as someone who is so confident and determined to be your own person, determined to enjoy your life, even if you're on your own. And so yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at your other cards here. So Spirit, for my group 2 folks, how do people describe them to others? How do people describe my group 2 folks to other people? Can we get some messages, please? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think people describe you as someone who knows what you want. You know exactly what you want in life. That's what I'm seeing here with the 7 of Cups coming through. I think that you have had a lot of time to be on your own. You've had a lot of time to sit back and think. You know, I'm thinking a lot of that hermit energy. So because I'm getting that vibe, you could be a Virgo sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus, because Virgo is synonymous with hermit energy. So yeah, you could be a Virgo. But with that hermit energy, the hermit card is someone who has had a lot of time to think about what they want in life. This is someone who is very self-aware of the path that they are going down, and they allow themselves the space to think about their past, think about where they are now, and think about where they want to be. And so people describe you as someone who has done those same things as well. And because you've given yourself that space, you know where you are right now and where you want to go in the future. And so people find that to be a breath of fresh air, because there are so many people that don't know what they want. They don't know what the future holds for them. And yet here you are, exactly on the pathway that you've set out for yourself. And I honestly would say that you are someone who probably has like a 10-year plan for yourself as well. And so yeah, you just know exactly where you are and where you're going to be going. And that certainty is something that is very refreshing to people. Now, yeah, I mean, look at this. We have the Emperor coming through with the Aries energy. So you could also be an Aries sign. And then we have the King of Wands, which talks about fire energy. So again, you could be an Aries, you could be a Leo, you could be a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus. And yeah, look at this. Look at this back of the deck energy. We have the 7 of Wands. Do you see this girl? She is a fighter. There are all these people trying to go against her, trying to break her down, and yet she is fighting. She is not giving up. She looks so fierce and so strong. And so yeah, people describe you as someone who is a leader. With the Emperor energy, you are a leader in your own right, and even whenever the masses go against you, even whenever people try to bring you down, you are someone who will get back up and keep fighting another day, keep fighting another battle. And it's okay if you lose a battle every now and then, because you have that foresight to know that you are going to win the war. So yeah, that's how people describe you. They describe you as someone who is just a leader. You are a freaking bad A type of person, and you are just someone who's never gonna give up. And again, you know exactly where you're going. I mean, look at this. Literally underneath his chair, there is this like sheet of paper, and it looks like he has things like drawn out and mapped out. And so that just gives me the idea that, again, you probably have like a 10-year plan or a 20-year plan, or better yet, a lifelong plan for yourself. And so yeah, again, you're just very certain of who you are. You're certain of what path you're going down on, and that certainty, again, is very refreshing. So yeah, and then look at this guy. I mean, again, he's just like looks like he's looking at plans, and then he's pointing on the earth, right, on the globe, on the map here, and you can see like he's saying, this is what I'm gonna do next, this is what I'm gonna do after that. He's just planning. So yeah, people just definitely describe you as someone who is a big old freaking planner, which is such Virgo energy, man. Virgos are known for having plans upon plans upon plans. Okay, you are just like you're described as a freaking mastermind. You're like T Swift, baby. Okay, I think that if you ever had a theme song for yourself, it would be Mastermind by Taylor Swift. I think that before you do anything, you plan it so freaking well. Even if you were to find someone who you really like, you would plan out how you are going to win them over and woo them. And so yeah, again, like, I think because you plan everything out, that causes you to have this strong sense of confidence, because you know where you're going, you know what your next step is going to be, and so you carry yourself with a sense of purpose. And so at the end of the day, people describe you as someone who just stands out in a crowd because you know who you are, because you know where you're going. You just have this larger than life type of energy around you, and it doesn't matter if you are the shortest person ever. It doesn't matter if you're like 5 feet and under, short and sweet. You are tall, you are mighty, your spirit, your determined spirit makes you so much taller than everyone else. So yeah, I feel like wherever you go, you walk with your shoulders back, with your head held high, and people take notice of that, and people describe you as someone who, again, you just have such an amazing amount of confidence, and it really makes you a hot commodity. I do think that there are a lot of people that want to date you, but at the end of the day, I think they are intimidated by you and by your fierceness and your strength. So yeah, I definitely think that it's a good thing that you probably plan ways to woo people, because I definitely think these people are too nervous to try to woo you instead, right? So I feel like that's definitely something that people say. They probably say like, yeah, do you see that person? They're freaking hot. I really wish I could date them, but I can't even go up and talk to them because I'm just so nervous, right? They just seem like they're on a whole other level here. They seem so confident, and I'm just so nervous to talk to them. It's almost like you're Brad Pitt, you guys. You're Brad Pitt, or who's a beautiful woman, like Scarlett Johansson. You are just amazing. You're amazing, and people are so intimidated to talk to those people, right? So that's how people feel about you. Now let's see what is coming through here. We have clarity. So yeah, people describe you as someone who has a ton of freaking clarity. You know where you're going, right? We have pond coming through. So even whenever you're walking and you step in a muddy puddle or you step in a pond, you don't get angry. You just go, you wipe your boots off, and you keep on going. So again, when you go through harder moments on your pathway to success, you are someone who can just keep on keeping on, and people love that, and people always say that about you whenever they describe you to others. And then last but not least, we have expulsion. And again, that's just talking about how you will not let anyone mistreat you. If anyone is rude to you, you will just walk out and say goodbye to them just like that and expel yourself from their life, okay, and expel them from yours. So yeah, you just have this amazing ability at being able to cut others off just like that. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't bother you. You just let them go. And people find that to be amazing, and people also find that to be so scary because they don't want to do something that makes you cut them off just like that. So yeah, again, I think that people describe you as someone who's very intimidating. You're intimidating, you're kind of scary. They just don't want to be one of the people who you cut off. They don't want to be like that. They want to be in your life. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you today, group 2. That's how people describe you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a big like and to subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of Tarot Tube again sometime, okay? Mwah. Bye. Hello, group 3. My name is Cameron, and I am going to be your fabulous tarot reader today. So guys, before we get into the tarot portion of this reading, we are going to go ahead and sit back, relax, and talk about this card that you felt drawn to. So guys, if you chose the athlete card, I would definitely say that people describe you as someone who is really big about your health. I definitely think that you are someone who probably cares about your body. You care about the fact that you don't want to get sick, right? Maybe you've had people in your life, people who are close to you, get sick before or even get injured. So what I mean by that is maybe your mother or your father got cancer, or maybe someone in your life within your life got into an accident and they were left forever changed by that accident. And so I definitely think that at the end of the day, you are someone who is very mindful about what you eat, about how you exercise. You're very mindful about how fragile your body is as well, and how you have to take care of it and protect it. So you might be someone who is really big about seatbelts. Anytime you go into a vehicle, you may always put your seatbelt on, and you may be someone who gets mad at other people who doesn't do that because you realize again how fragile people are, and you want to protect them. You want to protect yourself. You want to make sure that everyone is good, that everyone has capable bodies, and that everyone is going to be safe, right? And so yeah, I think that at the end of the day, people describe you as someone who is very highly aware of yourself, of others, and again, I feel like you have this protective streak for yourself and for others. You just want to make sure that everyone is okay, and people find that to be very beautiful and very lovely. They may find that to be a little overbearing at times as well, because I feel like you may have the tendency to be a bit of a mother hen. You're just trying to make sure that everyone is okay, that everyone is safe, and you want to make sure everyone eats right, takes care of themselves, and so you may check up on people a little bit too much every now and then, but people realize that you're doing that out of a place of love. You're doing that because you want to help them. So yeah, that's definitely like a side message that's coming through as well here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say as of right now. I just think that no matter what goes against you, no matter what you go through, you are someone who will not allow that thing to get the better of you. You will keep on going. You just have this inner strength, this inner determination that sets you apart from everyone else. And that's definitely something that people say about you. That's how people describe you to others. You may also have like a really nice body as well. You may, you may have like a really tight glutes and a really nice figure. So yeah, that could be something that people also say about you. Now let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot cards, okay? Spirit, can we get some messages, please, for my Group 3 folks? How do people describe them to others? How do people describe them to others? Okay, with the King of Cups coming through. So you could be a water sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus. I'm talking about the signs Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And with the King of Cups coming through, I definitely think that people say how you are very emotionally intelligent. You are someone who is very aware of your emotions and aware of the emotions of people around you. And I think that you are also someone who people feel very safe to be around, because I think that even if you were to be in a very tumultuous situation, even if the world was going to hell in a handbasket, I think that you would still be able to keep your cool. You would still be able to remain very calm, very collected. And it's because you remain calm and collected that people feel safe around you. They feel like everything is going to be okay, because of the fact that you handle yourself so well and so gracefully under said pressure. And you, again, your grace, it makes other people feel at peace. So yeah, I definitely think people say how if things were to ever get crazy, if there were to ever be like a bad situation take place, that they would want to be around you, especially if they were the ones going through said bad situation, because I think that you would put them at ease and make them feel like everything is going to be okay. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing so far. Let's see what else wants to come through here. For my group 3 folks, how do people describe them to other people? How do people describe them to others? Let's get a card here. Okay, we have the 3 of Swords. Wow, you guys, you could have been hurt in the past in love. You could have been really hurt. Let's clarify that, because this can talk about being very hurt, or this could also talk about being a bit of a heartbreaker as well. So let's see how Spirit clarifies this. Will you clarify this for us? How do people describe them? Will you clarify this 3 of Swords energy? Okay, the Justice. Yeah, that makes sense. So the Justice card does talk about Libra energy. So you could have been hurt by someone who is a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus. Now, they don't have to be a Libra. This could again just be talking about how I think that people describe you as someone who has been hurt before. And this could talk about being hurt by a lover, being betrayed by someone who you trusted, or this could even talk about being hurt in the way that you have witnessed other people be hurt. And this could talk about someone being hurt physically or someone being hurt emotionally. So again, like I was saying, maybe you witnessed someone get really injured in the past. I myself, my dad got injured really bad in a car accident, and he became paralyzed. He was paralyzed. He's gone now. He passed away. But that is definitely something that completely changed the way that I look at life. It completely changed the way that I am in vehicles, because that happened to him because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And I really think that if he would have been wearing one, that he wouldn't have had the injury that he had. And so now I'm really anal about that. I always wear seatbelts, and I always try to make sure that everyone else is wearing seatbelts around me as well. And I may have the tendency to be a little annoying about it, but I just want to make sure that everyone is okay. And so that could be something that you have gone through before. It doesn't have to be that, you know, your mom or dad was in an accident. It doesn't have to be that same situation, but it could be something else. Maybe you had someone get cancer, and so again, you're really big about making sure how people are really treating themselves right, treating their bodies right, so that they don't eventually get cancer as well. It could be something else. But I just think that at the end of the day, in some type of way, you were hurt. And it could have been that you were hurt by someone you loved, like someone could have betrayed you, or you could have watched someone else be hurt by something, okay? By something or someone. And I think that that is just something that makes you who you are. That is a big aspect of your personality. And I think that what's interesting is that we have the Ace of Wands coming through. And whenever we have the Ace of Wands, this talks about someone who follows their heart, and they're very spontaneous. If they realize that they want something, they go after it. But I honestly think that you are someone who is the opposite of that. I think that you are described as someone who plays life very safely, because you know how if you go at it with life, you might end up getting hurt. And so because you're so aware of that, I think that you do play it safe a bit. You have the tendency to be a little bit pessimistic. You always think of the worst thing that could happen instead of the best thing. And so that's definitely something that people notice about you, and that's definitely something that people probably say about you whenever they're describing you to others. They just say how you do have the tendency to play life a bit safe at times. So let's see what else wants to come through here. For group 3, how do people describe them to others? Let's get one final tarot card here, Spirit. You know what? I said let's get one final tarot card. We got 2. So we have the 9 of Pentacles coming through. This makes me think about someone who is happy with where they are at. This makes me think about someone who is quite successful and they are just enjoying their success. And so I definitely think that people describe you as someone who is living a life of happiness. I think that they describe you as someone who is happy with where you're at so far, and you just seem like someone who is enjoying yourself and who is enjoying the fruits of your labor. So I definitely think you're at the point in your life where you do feel like you are successful, or that you're at least getting close to becoming very successful, okay? And that's definitely how people describe you. And then last but not least, we have the Page of Cups coming through. And so for some of you guys, you could be someone who is interested in art. You could be an artist, or you could be interested in another art form. So maybe you like to sing, or you like to go and make a skit at a comedy club or something like that. But there could definitely be something that you're interested in regards to art, in regards to some type of art form, and that's definitely something that people could mention to others. Now, if that is not the case, then this could also be talking about how you could be someone who, I feel like even though you are a bit pessimistic, even though you may have the tendency to play it safe, I think that there's this weird juxtaposition to you where you still have this like youthful energy around you, and you're still able to see the best in other people as well. So that's interesting. That's very interesting, because on one hand you tend to be pessimistic, but on the other hand you also tend to see the best in other people, and you see the good in others, which is such a weird and complex type of energy here. I don't exactly know how to explain it, but I feel like if you resonate with this, then you will be able to know exactly what I mean by that, okay? So just take it as it resonates, and just know if you resonate with that, that's people see that side to you as well, and they mention that to people when they describe you. And then last but not least, for the back of the deck energy, we have the 6 of Cups, and you can see this guy giving this girl some flowers, and it looks like he's just trying to be nice to her and make her feel good. And I think that people describe you as someone who is just like that. You are probably someone who gives just random gifts to people, or you give random acts of kindness to others. You are just someone who likes to make people feel good and feel happy, and so that's really sweet to see. That's really sweet. I do think for a lot of you guys, you could have, your love language could be gift giving, and that could definitely be something that people take notice of you and say to other people. Now let's go ahead and move on and take a look at your oracle cards. Okay, that card wanted to come through. Let's get one more oracle card here. Spirit, for my group 3 folks, how do people describe them to others? For my group 3 folks, how do people describe them to others? Oops. Okay. How do people describe them to others? Okay. This is interesting. So first of all, we have sensitivity coming through. We have fantasy with Emily Bront. And last but not least, we have prediction. So first of all, I feel like this goes well together, the sensitivity and prediction, because I think that this is talking about how, again, you care about people, right? You are sensitive to others and their situation, and you just want to make sure that everyone is doing good, that everyone is safe, that everyone is healthy. And I think that at the end of the day, with the prediction card coming through, you are always thinking about the worst that could happen to people, to others, health-wise, and emotional-wise. You just want to make sure that everyone is okay. And so again, I think that you go out of your way to check up on people, to make sure that everyone is eating right, to make sure that everyone is exercising, everyone who you love is putting their seatbelt on, and just taking precautions so that nothing bad happens to them and nothing bad befalls them, right? And so yeah, that's definitely another message coming through. And then last but not least, we have fantasy, and that just makes me think about, I'm thinking of Emily Bront, okay? Because she's right here, right? And Emily Bront, she's described as someone who was quite shy, and she kind of kept herself in her home. She kept herself kind of locked away, this like self-imposed isolation, because for some reason or another, it's almost like she was afraid of the world, and she was afraid to put herself out there. And I feel like, again, this is talking about you. You are someone who always thinks of the worst thing that could happen to yourself. And because of that, it's almost like you hold yourself back and you keep yourself locked up. And you find ways to entertain yourself when you're on your own, when you're by yourself. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, you can see this woman reading a book, drinking wine. She looks like she's actually having quite a good time. And so I think that people describe you as someone who is a bit of a self-isolationist. You are someone who has a tendency to just stay home. Like, yeah, you may go to work. You may go to the grocery store and work out and stuff when you need to. But other than that, you like to stay home. You would rather be by yourself than put yourself out there in the big world, the big wide world, and get hurt, right? So, yeah, that's very interesting. And I definitely think that that's something that people pick up on whenever they're around you. And that's definitely something people say to others and bring up to other people about how you like to self-impose this isolation on you. We may be out of the coronavirus, the pandemic, but I feel like you still kind of keep yourself in it in the way that you still don't really get outside of your house too much. I'm also seeing how some of you guys might wear a mask a lot too. Just ever since the coronavirus happened, you may be someone who chooses to wear a mask still. But yeah, and I honestly think that people say how during the pandemic, you were like one of the only people who was cool with it. You were like happy with staying home because you had already been doing stuff like that before. And so even while everyone else was upset about it, you're just here living your best life. And so I definitely think that that's something that people bring up because they find that to be kind of funny, because everyone else was like, oh, I'm sad, I'm inside, I'm by myself. And yet you're like just chilling. You're just relaxing. You're making the most of it and enjoying it. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of TarotTube again sometime. Okay, so I love y'all all so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Mwah. Bye.